Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, tracking two blobs, these two areas right here, and another area working its way into Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada. I want to get into that rain chance as well, plus the development off the coast of Africa. I'll look at the American model and the European model. All that in this video. Let's start with what's going on right now. Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Bahamas. We have some areas of rain. These two kind of blobs right here, they got combined with a tropical wave that is moving by. The tropical wave has been moving its way toward Belize, where we've had some rain and storms as well. Belize, some scattered showers and storms down through Panama. But as we work our way over toward Jamaica, for us today, we're going to see that better chance of scattered areas of rain and storms, not organized. But I always watch these areas closely to see if anything does want to spin up. So we have an old front across the Bahamas, and sometimes that could lend itself into some development. Not seeing that right now, but just know that I'm always watching that. Anytime you got these big pockets of rain sitting over the very warm water this time of year, I watch for anything trying to spin up. Now, this is the 3-day rain total in Jamaica. This is a computer model, and I don't think it's right. This is showing some of us getting 25 millimeters of rain. I believe with these areas of rain and storms near us, we're going to see some spots that get over 75 millimeters of rain or up to about 100 millimeters of rain, 3 to 4 inches of rain if you get stuck in one of the downpours, because the storms are going to be a little bit stronger. And you can see back through the Bahamas, this kind of brighter color here up toward the Florida Keys, that would be about 75 millimeters or 3 inches of rain. And I actually think some of that will be on top of us throughout Jamaica over the next couple days. So watching out for the areas of rain. So keep me posted in the comments your location, if you're getting rain or if you're not. And if you're not, it is going to be so very hot. Another spot we're watching right here, here's St. Lucia, here's Dominica, Martinique, Barbados. This area working its way into Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Some areas of heavier rain with this. Nothing organized, but here's St. Lucia down through St. Vincent, the Grenadines and Grenada and Barbados. There's going to be these pockets of, again, over 75 millimeters of rain or 3 inches of rain. Watching out for some downpours. A little bit more, though, across Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to be on the lookout for some isolated areas of flooding for today in particular, but over the next couple of days, it is going to be very active. Southern sections, watching out for some flooding that will be possible. We could have some spots getting 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain. So I wanted to start with that. This moisture just kind of feeding in. So keep me posted. Port of Spain, what we're getting as we go throughout the day. If you get rain or if you don't, just list it in the comments as we build this weather community together. So it's that area right there. Then we look out here, much of the Atlantic on the quieter side, relatively speaking, but that may be catching your eye. This is going to be the start of some bigger tropical waves moving off the coast of Africa. In the short term, there's still some of this dry air around. It's still kind of settled, if you will, and that's good. There's sinking air, so the showers and storms can't build up as much. So as these tropical waves move off, they're going to struggle initially, but then I'm starting to see some signs now of development. Let me show it to you here. Here we are in the Caribbean. Here are these old fronts that are helping to enhance some of the rain from Belize back through Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas. Now, watching these areas of high pressure, these act as the blockers. So as these areas come up off the coast of Africa, they'll just continue to move off to the west. This here is the European model, and almost all the models are now hinting at some development early in September. Where something goes, too early to tell, but I want to show you everything I'm seeing. I like to let you know everything that I'm thinking, kind of seeing down the road, so you could get a good handle on what may be coming up. So this is going out in time. This is by the time we get into Wednesday, and you see that moisture right there building by the middle of the week, not fizzling apart like the last series of tropical waves. So starting to hang together. There's the area of high pressure to the north, helping to just continue to take this area off to the west. Nothing organized, though, as we get toward the middle of the week. Watching out for signs of that, though. Then as we go forward in time, let me bring you out into next weekend. So we're going a week out in time, and you can see the European model right here picking up on some, at least some development, kind of hinting at that, hey, maybe there could be a tropical depression or tropical storm trying to form in the central Atlantic by the time we get into next weekend. Watching the areas of high pressure to the north to see if this will kind of work its way into the Caribbean or make a curve. Again, it's not showing a hurricane at this point, but clearly starting to see things to watch. And not only is the European model seeing that, so is the American model. So these waves kind of adding moisture to the atmosphere. So here's some of that rain today. I'm going to zoom down in a moment. Here's that kind of old front getting combined with that tropical wave, so that extra rain that's been around. You see it right there. But let's move forward, just kind of getting big picture first, and then I'm going to zoom in. This is by the time we get into the middle of the week. Now, that area of rain in Trinidad and Tobago really works its way off toward Jamaica. So always watching that, not seeing a sign of a spin up, but then that may be catching your attention. There are those bigger tropical waves coming off. And the American model's having trouble figuring out which one may develop, but it does start to eventually develop something. So let's swing you into next weekend again. So we're looking at about a week from now into early next week, stopping the clock here. So we're talking about anywhere from 7 to about 9 days from now. This is next Tuesday, not the upcoming Tuesday, but that following week. So this is early September, and you can see these stronger tropical waves coming off. And yeah, the American model starting to develop some of these. So is the ICON model, the German model. But of note, I never lose sight of what's going on close to home. There's going to be a lot of moisture just simply building, almost like what we've been dealing with today with those blobs of rain. A lot of moisture, Gulf of Mexico building, Western Caribbean building. So you could occasionally get something spinning up here as well. So yeah, I believe we're going to get some development eventually coming off the coast of Africa, no doubt, as we work our way into September, but also watching close to home. But fortunately, the good news is not seeing anything trying to spin up, at least in the short term, and we will take that. Now, speaking of the short term, watching some areas of rain, but you see it right there as we get into tonight, into tomorrow morning, as you head out to a church, you may be running into some heavier areas of rain. It's not a huge area of rain for us in the Eastern Caribbean, but we are going to see some pockets of downpours. This is our Sunday afternoon, and just staying unsettled across the Western Caribbean, even back toward parts of the Gulf of Mexico with the areas of rain and storms. And then this is early next week. Look what happens here. That moisture I showed you near Trinidad starts to work its way. Now, the ABC Islands, we'll get a chance of a couple showers, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire starting tomorrow into early in the upcoming week. But there's that next area of rain. So once again, for us in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, over toward Haiti, as you get over toward Jacmel, we'll see a chance of some rain picking up on Tuesday. You see that next batch of moisture that's in the Eastern Caribbean now, that'll start to work our way by the time we get into Tuesday. Now, watching a lot of ingredients out there. The two that are key for this hurricane season, the dry air, some of that dust. That's what we have right now. That's been preventing some development. We like that. This here, the second big ingredient, we don't like. That is the heat content. These are very hot pockets in the water that go down deep. So if anything tries to develop and rides across these, things could kind of rapidly intensify. So things as far as what's going on at the surface, not great. Above right now, looking good. But we're going to be watching down the road with these tropical waves and these old fronts that are just kind of hanging out. A lot of hurricane season to go. About 75% of all named storms happen from this point forward. I think it's about 70% from this point forward, September, October into November. But the next 3 months, or next 2 months rather, from now through about mid to late October, that's really the bulk of the season. So as we get chip away at that, that's good. But we have a lot of time ahead of us. Of course, September is the peak of the season. September 10th, looking at the names, the next name on the list will be Francine, then Gordon, Helene, Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, Leslie, Milton, and Nadine, Oscar, Patty. Hopefully we don't get too far down this list. Then we get out into the Eastern Pacific and Central Pacific, and it's very active. Watching a few systems. This here is Gilma. This is another area that may develop, and just off of our screen, this here is Hone, and this is going to work its way toward Hawaii, and there are tropical storm warnings out now for the big island of Hawaii. It could actually become a hurricane as it continues to make its way off toward the west, and you can see it here. Now, the good news is in the short term, watching Mexico, a lot of development out here, but nothing kind of swinging back or kind of hooking back in. But you see these systems that are there, but you can see this one, Hone, that just kind of skims the area of the big island of Hawaii right there, and then as it develops further, it's actually going to strengthen, and then it's going to stay just to the south of some of the smaller islands. So this is by Sunday, and then working our way into early next week, of course, higher seas. There's Gilma. Gilma's also going to try to work its way toward Hawaii. However, it should eventually weaken as it gets into the middle of next week. Now, as far as the seas go, good shape across the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, just taking out in time through the weekend, right into next week. Not a whole lot of action, 1 to 1.5 meters. So we're looking at about 3 to 5 feet. Got a bit of a chop in some areas, but that's it. So for anything on the water in the short term, all is looking good. But watching out for the thunderstorms. Please be mindful of that. Some of these storms have been strong. So yeah, the waters are okay, but what's going on above our head, as you well well know a different story. So I've been mentioning some of the rain. Let me show you some of the other totals. Again, just watching out for scattered showers and storms. Not as much in the Dominican Republic. May get a few showers and storms Puerto Rico, and then we'll see a chance of some rain that could give us 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches of rain if you happen to get a shower or thunderstorm. Antigua and Barbuda back through Guadalupe. But I was mentioning those higher totals across the southeastern Caribbean. I was highlighting that a couple minutes ago with that moisture that is moving in right now. Could get some rain in Guyana, not as much in Suriname. We're generally dry. Northeastern Venezuela, we could pick up some rain, but still some higher totals. So for us in Belize, we've had some rain and storms around the last 2 days. Let me know how it's going. Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, watching out for some higher totals. Same thing, Guatemala and El Salvador. Simply put, Western Caribbean into Central America, it is active. Could see a few showers and storms around Mexico City. So we get into the forecast, so you see that elevated chance of rain. If we get some of these downpours across Jamaica, we're going to see some isolated areas of flooding. Cayman Islands, rain chance goes up a little bit, not as high as Jamaica, but it is going to bump up. Trinidad and Tobago, we have that high 70% chance of rain. Not for all of us. It's not a 100% chance. Some of us just stay dry and are very hot. Barbados, rain chance up tomorrow, and about a 40 to 50% chance across St. Lucia. Very unsettled southeastern Caribbean. That includes Grenada, a rain chance 60% today. 50 to 60% chance St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 40 to 50% chance in Martinique. Starts to kind of lessen some. See in Dominica, could see a few showers and storms today. Goes down some tomorrow. 40 to 50% chance in Guadalupe. But as we swing to the north, passing shower storm Antigua and Barbuda. We get back towards St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat. Mainly dry, generally dry in Anguilla and St. Bart's over the next couple of days, and mainly dry with loads of sunshine. St. Martin, Ceiba, over toward Statia. Rain chance stays very minimal today in Puerto Rico. May get a pop-up shower storm. Better chance tomorrow. Low rain chance British and U.S. Virgin Islands. Rain chance though across the Bahamas, especially New Providence, Freeport, Northern Bahamas. Thank you for leaving the comments. I was highlighting that in the beginning of the video. Some heavier areas of rain. Turks and Caicos, not much the next couple days. Spotty showers and thunderstorms possible in the Dominican Republic. Only a 20% chance in Haiti, but we could get 1 or 2 popping up. Belize, though, we're unsettled. Some of us dry, others seeing some rain and storms. Now, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, tomorrow into early next week, there is a chance of a couple passing showers. I'm watching this moisture coming out of Trinidad and Tobago and near northern Venezuela. That could be moving our way. Guyana, a chance of a couple showers, but Suriname, we're generally dry and so very hot. Rain chance in Cuba, scattered rain and storms. We have those 2 blobs that are nearby, especially central and eastern sections. Rain chance elevated as we get toward Costa Rica and Panama. 50% chance in Nicaragua. Looking at a 50% chance across Honduras. And the rain chance today in Guatemala and El Salvador on the higher side at about a 70% chance. Some areas of flooding. 40 to 50% chance around Mexico City the next couple days. 30 to 40% chance of a couple scattered showers over toward Merida and Cozumel. And then northern Colombia, rain chance about 40%, looking at a 40% chance in northern Venezuela, especially northeastern Venezuela. And then Bermuda, looking good, mainly dry. So taking you through it, watching these 2 blobs, bringing those areas of rain and storms, watching out for isolated areas of flooding, always monitoring for any signs of development with these kind of batches of rain that we have around across the Caribbean. And now watching the coast of Africa as the models are now hinting at that pattern change with some development early in September. So thank you for being part of this channel. Keep me posted. I'll go through the comments throughout the day, who's getting the rain, the storms, and who's just baking in the heat. I'll see you on the comment section. Have a good rest of your day.